Those of you that have been subscribed to me for a while or have seen the live streams know where I kind of stand when it comes to these stories breaking. Admittedly, I don't get like really enraged or anything like that. It's just something to talk about. It's content for the channel for ad revenue. There are certain instances, though, where I do get a little bit irked by some of the things that I see. This would be one of those instances because I really don't like cancel culture. And I hate it when it happens to anybody, right? Regardless of what their affiliation is. I don't care if you're on the left, you're on the right. I didn't like it when it happened to James Gunn. Obviously, I'm not going to like it when it happens to Gina Carano. And this has been something that has been ongoing with her for the last year and a half of people attempting to cancel her for the things she said and saying, oh, the things she said were so hurtful and damaging when they're really not. When you have people like her co-star Pedro Pascal saying things that I think are objectively worse, right? And those are words that are actually coming from him instead of posts that are being shared by Gina Carano, right, that she might agree with. So this is an article from Bounding of the Comics. I'll go ahead and link it in the description below for those of you that want to read for yourselves. I'm not going to go over the entire article because, truthfully, I really just want to zero in on the people that are responsible for trying to get her canceled from a convention, and that is the Pop Culture Classroom, which is a nonprofit organization. So it says here, Pop Culture Classroom, an organization that claims to inspire a love of learning, increases literacy, celebrates diversity, and builds community through the tools of popular culture and the power of self-expression, admitted they attempted to get actress Gina Carano removed from the upcoming Fan Expo Denver. Carano, who has appeared in numerous films including Fast and Furious 6, Deadpool, Haywire, and Heist, as well as the Star Wars show The Mandalorian, was announced to be a part of Fan Expo Denver on April 6th. The convention tweeted, the Fan Expo Denver Star Wars lineup is growing. Gina Carano, Cara Dune is coming to Denver and joining Star Wars legends like Ming-Na Wen, Carl Weathers, and Ashley Eckstein. And it says, in response to Carano's invitation and confirmed the announcement for Fan Expo Denver, Pop Culture Classroom took to their Twitter account issuing a statement revealing they attempted to get Gina Carano removed from the convention. First, they wrote, Pop Culture Classroom is committed to creating welcoming and inclusive spaces through our educational programs at Fan Expo Denver. PCC was not consulted on the booking of Gina Carano and opposes her involvement in the Fan Expo Denver event. So, red flags, right? As soon as you hear anybody talk about inclusive spaces and things like that, they're usually the first ones to exclude others for not really having the same ideology as them, for not aligning, for not agreeing with them a lot of times. So these are the same people that always talk about diversity, but they don't care for the diversity of thought. So you see, this is the post from their Twitter, and as you can see, these are real. This is still on their Twitter page. These are all tweets that they actually made in regards to Gina Carano, so that people don't think these are just screenshots that could be altered. It's all legit there. You can find it for yourself. They did say all this, but you're probably also wondering, who the hell is Pop Culture Classroom, and why should anybody give a shit? Well, you probably really shouldn't give a shit, but let me give you a little bit of a backstory. So they are a nonprofit organization, and truthfully, I don't oppose their overall idea of wanting to use things in pop culture to try to educate people. I think that could be a great tool, like using, and by that I mean, using media like comic books to educate and things like that. The problem is the education that they're trying to do, from what I see. One could probably look at it and say that it looks a whole lot like propaganda used for indoctrination more than anything else. Some might say that. I'm not going to sit here and say that for sure, but some might view it that way, right? If you look at some of the things that they talk about and some of the things that they post and some of the people that they support and have platformed on their YouTube channel, it would lead one to maybe conclude that. I'm not going to say either way beyond a reasonable doubt, right, that's exactly what they're doing. But like I said, if you look through their body of work, I guess you might think that that's what they're trying to do, but who knows? I'm not going to say that. But here's the more interesting thing about Pop Culture Classroom. They are the previous owners of what became Fan Expo Denver. Now, the convention, I believe, used to be known as Denver PopCon or something along those lines, and then it became like Denver Comic Con. And then last year, they were bought out. In 2021, they were bought out by Fan Expo HQ, which is now the new owner of the show. I don't know what deal they have or what it entailed, why they would need to be consulted, whether or not Gina Carano would be, on the get, or any guest, honestly, not even Gina Carano. I don't know why they would need to consult with the previous owners as to who they invite to what is now their show, right? Unless there's something in writing that says otherwise, which I don't believe Pop Culture Classroom has provided. Maybe it exists. I don't know. But I don't see why they would need to ask them for permission or consult with them as to who they invite to what is now their show. And if Pop Culture Classroom has a problem with it, you probably should have not sold your show, right? If you wanted to control who comes to it. So it says here, in a subsequent tweet they added, Carano's past comments and actions are at direct odds with our organization's mission to celebrate diversity and build inclusive pop culture spaces where all feel welcomed. So who feels unwelcomed, and what exactly is it that you're referring to? Because they don't provide any evidence on any of their posts that I can see. They didn't put any examples. It's just kind of take their word for it, right? So what is it that they're referring to? Finally, they revealed they attempted to get her canned from the event. We've expressed our opposition to the team at Fan Expo Denver, and Carano will not be participating in any of Pop Culture Classroom's educational programs or activities during the event. That's pretty arrogant, right? For them to even think, what, like, okay, who the hell said she wanted to, right? Who the hell said she wanted to? These people are pretty high on themselves. I mean, but I guess that's to be expected. It was their show before, and I'm sure they've built up a community around them that still supports them in their decision. But again, they sold their show. It is no longer their show unless they have something in writing that says that they have to be consulted. And honestly, look, the fact that the new owners would consult with them about anything seems to be more of a formality. Probably, it's just them giving them a courtesy because they bought the show from them, and in order to transition it properly, they might have some people on from these, from the Pop Culture Classroom board, if they have, I believe they have a board, right? Maybe they have some of those people on to consult and things like that, but I would think that they're not in a position, and by them I mean PCC, is not in a position to really have authority over the show now because they don't own it anymore. And it would be ludicrous for them to think that they do. What would be even more ludicrous would be if, Denver Fan Expo made a deal like that. That would be even more ludicrous if they allowed the previous owners to have any kind of say in running the show. Because otherwise, then what would have been the point of them buying the show from them to begin with, right? Seems kind of stupid. But maybe there's a deal that exists, who knows, and maybe they'll provide it. But I have seen no evidence of them having any sway anymore over the show. So this is stupid. This is just them virtue signaling and grandstanding about it, right? And here's what's more interesting, right? This is a tweet from Pop Culture Classroom that they made last year, back in March. Stories of powerful women and girls are some of the most compelling in pop culture. Share your favorites and your thoughts. You could be a part of our special International Women's Day video next Monday. Shout out awesome women and girls in pop culture, except if they're named Gina Carano. Pretty hypocritical, y'all. Here's what's more interesting, right? If you look at their videos, look at this: empowering women and girls in pop culture, right? Unless they're named Gina Carano, right? And if you look through their library, because they have two channels, this one is the more recent one. Maybe they lost the password to this one, but this one's the more active one that was created a couple years ago. This one was created in 2015. This one was created in 2018. And if you look at their video library here, right, of uploads, and you see that they have people on here like Kelly Sue DeConnick and others that align with their ideology, it makes perfect sense why they wouldn't want Gina Carano there. When they're platforming people like Kelly Sue DeConnick and others like Kelly Sue DeConnick on their channel, it makes it crystal clear as to why they don't want Gina there. So, anyways, that's all I got to say about this video. They're a bunch of hypocrites. All they're doing is virtue signaling, and they deserve all the criticism they are getting right now. Don't harass them. Obviously, I'm not making this video for people to go and hit them up and harass them. Obviously, that's not okay. Let's just point and laugh at them for being stupid, as we always do. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, y'all know how it goes. The hunt continues.